Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Daily English Learn, your friendly podcast for mastering English in real conversations. I'm Eva.
And I'm Mark. Today we're going to talk about something that most English learners struggle with every single day, but they don't even realize it's happening.
That's right. We're talking about time expressions. Now, I know what you're thinking. Time expressions? That sounds boring, right? But here's the truth. When you use time expressions incorrectly, native speakers immediately notice. They might not say anything, but they can tell you're struggling.
Exactly. And the worst part is, these mistakes make you sound unsure, confused, or even unprofessional. Imagine you're in a job interview and you say something like, "I am working here since 3 years." The interviewer won't correct you, but they'll think, this person's English isn't quite there yet.
So today, we're going to fix 3 of the most common time expression mistakes that English learners make. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to talk about time naturally, confidently, and correctly. You'll sound more fluent, more native, and honestly, people will take you more seriously.
And we're not just going to tell you the rules, we're going to give you real examples, real situations, and we'll practice together. So stay with us because this is going to change how you speak English.
All right, let's start with mistake number 1. This is probably the biggest mistake I hear from students every single week. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
It's confusing for and since when talking about time. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard students say, "I am living in this city since 5 years." Does that sound right to you, Mark?
No, absolutely not. And you know what? This mistake is so common because in many languages, there's only one word for both for and since. So students translate directly from their native language and they think it's correct.
Exactly. So let me explain this very clearly. When you use for, you're talking about a duration, a period of time, how long something has been happening. For example, I have been studying English for 2 years. 2 years is the duration.
Right. And when you use since, you're talking about a starting point, a specific moment when something began. For example, I've been studying English since 2023. 2023 is the starting point.
Let me give you another example so this really sticks in your mind. Imagine someone asks you, "How long have you been working at your company?" You would say, "I have been working there for 6 months." 6 months is the duration.
But if they ask, "When did you start working there?" you could say, "I have been working there since January." January is the starting point.
Now, here's where students get confused. They mix these up and say things like, "I know him since 10 years." That's wrong. You should say, "I have known him for 10 years."
Or they say, "I'm living here for 2020. Also wrong. You should say, "I've been living here since 2020.
Let's practice this together right now. I'm going to say a sentence and you can repeat after me. Ready? I have been learning English for 3 years.
Good. Now try this one. I've been learning English since I was a child.
Perfect. Do you feel the difference? For 3 years is a duration. Since I was a child is a starting point.
And here's a quick tip. After for, you usually use numbers or words that show duration. For example, for 5 hours, for 2 weeks, for many years. After since, you use specific times. Since Monday, since last month, since I graduated.
That's a really helpful way to remember it. Now, let's move to mistake number 2. This one is very sneaky because even intermediate and advanced learners make this mistake all the time.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. It's about using the present tense when you should use the present perfect.
Exactly. Students say things like, "I live here since 2020," or "I work at this company for 5 years." These sentences sound very unnatural to native speakers.
And the reason is simple. When you're talking about something that started in the past and is still continuing now, you must use the present perfect tense. You cannot use the simple present.
Let me explain this with a real-life situation. Imagine you moved to a new city 3 years ago and you still live there. If someone asks, "How long do you live here?" that question itself is wrong. They should ask, how long have you been living here?
And your answer should be, I have been living here for 3 years, not I live here for 3 years.
Now, I know some of you are thinking, but Eva, in my language, we use the present tense for this. I understand. But in English, the present perfect shows the connection between the past and the present.
Think of it this way. When you say, I have been working here for 5 years, you're saying two things at once. First, you started working 5 years ago. Second, you still work there now. The present perfect connects those two ideas.
Let's practice this. I'll say a wrong sentence and Mark will correct it. Ready? I know my best friend since high school.
Correction. I have known my best friend since high school.
Good. Now try this one. She studies English for 6 months.
She has been studying English for 6 months.
Perfect. Now here's another example. Imagine you're at a job interview and they ask, how long do you have experience in this field? You should answer, I have been working in this field for 8 years.
Not, I work in this field for 8 years. That sounds like you're translating word for word from another language.
Exactly. And native speakers will immediately notice. They might not say anything, but they'll think your English isn't fluent yet.
So remember, if something started in the past and continues until now, use the present perfect. Have been living, have been working, have been studying, not live, work, study.
All right, now let's talk about mistake number 3. This one is about future time expressions, and it's a mistake that can make you sound very unprofessional.
Oh yes, this is when students confuse will and going to, or when they use the wrong future form in certain situations.
Right. But today, I want to focus on something even more specific. It's when students say things like, when I finish this project, I will call you. Does that sound correct?
No, it doesn't. And this is a very common mistake because in many languages, you use the future tense after words like when, if, as soon as, and before.
Exactly. But in English, after these time words, you use the present tense, not the future tense. So the correct sentence is, when I finish this project, I will call you.
Let me give you another example. Imagine you're talking to your boss and you say, as soon as I complete the report, I will send it to you. That's wrong.
The correct way is, as soon as I complete the report, I will send it to you.
Or another example, if I have time tomorrow, I will visit you. Wrong. It should be, if I have time tomorrow, I will visit you.
Now, I know this feels strange at first because you're thinking, but I'm talking about the future. Why am I using the present tense? And that's a very logical question.
The answer is this. In English, after time words like when, if, as soon as, before, and after, we use the present tense to talk about future actions. It's just a grammar rule you have to memorize.
Think of it like this. The word when or if already shows that you're talking about the future, so you don't need to use will again. You just use the simple present.
Let's practice together. I'll say a wrong sentence and you try to correct it in your mind. Ready? Before I will leave the office, I will finish this task.
The correct version is, before I leave the office, I will finish this task.
Good. Now try this one. When you will arrive, we will start the meeting.
Correction. When you arrive, we will start the meeting.
Perfect. Now let me give you a few more examples so this really becomes natural for you. After I finish my homework, I will watch a movie.
As soon as the rain stops, we will go outside.
If you need help, I will be here.
Do you see the pattern? After when, if, as soon as, before, after, we use the present tense. Finish, stops, need. Not will finish, will stop, will need.
And here's a bonus tip. This rule doesn't apply to all future sentences, only to sentences with time words. For example, you can still say, I think it will rain tomorrow. That's fine, because there's no time word like when or if.
Right. Or you can say, tomorrow I will call you. That's also correct. The rule only applies when you have words like when, if, as soon as, before, or after in the sentence.
All right, so let's quickly review everything we've learned today. Mistake number 1 was confusing for and since. Remember, for is for duration, since is for a starting point.
Mistake number 2 was using the present tense instead of the present perfect when talking about something that started in the past and continues now. Say, I have been living here for 5 years, not I live here for 5 years.
And mistake number 3 was using will after time words like when, if, as soon as. Remember, after these words, use the present tense. When I finish, I will call you, not when I will finish, I will call you.
Now, I want you to practice these at home. Don't just listen and forget. Take out a notebook, write down 5 sentences using for and since. Write 5 sentences using the present perfect with time expressions. And write 5 sentences using when, if, and as soon as correctly.
And if you really want to improve fast, try speaking these sentences out loud. Don't just write them, speak them, because speaking is how you build muscle memory in your mouth and brain.
That's such an important point, Mark. You know, a lot of students think they understand grammar when they read about it, but when they try to speak, they make mistakes. That's because reading and speaking use different parts of your brain.
Exactly. So practice speaking every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Talk to yourself in English. Describe your day. Talk about your plans. Use these time expressions.
And here's another tip. Pay attention when you watch English movies, podcasts, or YouTube videos. Listen to how native speakers use time expressions. You'll start to notice patterns.
For example, you'll hear people say things like, I've been waiting for an hour, not I wait for an hour. Or, I've known her since college, not I know her since college.
The more you listen, the more natural it will become. And before you know it, you'll be using these expressions correctly without even thinking about it.
All right, let's do a final practice round together. I'm going to say a situation, and you try to make a sentence in your mind. Ready?
Go ahead.
Situation 1. You started learning guitar in 2022. You still play guitar now. How would you say this?
I have been playing guitar since 2022, or I have been playing guitar for 3 years.
Perfect. Situation 2. You're planning to call your friend after you finish dinner. What would you say?
I will call you after I finish dinner, not after I will finish dinner.
Excellent. Situation 3. You met your teacher 5 years ago. You still know your teacher. How do you express this?
I have known my teacher for 5 years, or I have known my teacher since 2020.
Great job. See, you're already getting better. This is how you improve. You practice, you make mistakes, you correct them, and you keep going.
And remember, making mistakes is completely normal. Every English learner makes these mistakes. The important thing is that you notice them, you learn from them, and you keep practicing.
So don't feel embarrassed, don't feel frustrated, just keep learning, keep speaking, and be patient with yourself.
All right, everyone, that's it for today's episode. We covered 3 major time expression mistakes and how to fix them. I hope this was helpful for you.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends who are learning English. The more people practice together, the more fun it becomes.
Also, if you have any questions or if there's a topic you'd like us to cover in the next episode, leave a comment or send us a message. We read every single one.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember, every mistake is just a step toward fluency.
Thanks for listening to Daily English Learn. I'm Eva.
And I'm Mark. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Keep learning and stay confident.